Hello guys, it's Tonton. Welcome to a new video on my channel. Today we're gonna talk about Brothers in Arms. So kill events, BIA, depending on how you call it, or BIA, I guess. There are many ways to call it. In some other game it's called kill events, so people call it KE. It really depends, right? But that's this event. It happens after a while. It gets very synced with other events. So for us, it happens every 4 weeks, which is the case in most states, and it will be during local sandfire. So that's actually very important. If you participate in local sandfire, and you are joining rallies or defending turrets or defending the fire castle, you will make enough points that you will complete the event and you don't have to worry about it. So if you just care about unlocking all rewards, what you have to do is to participate in local sandfire tomorrow. And if you can do that, you will complete the event. You don't have to care about it. Basically, the event is rewarding you points for not necessarily killing, right? But severely injured troops. So I'll show you in a minute what is it, right? And how you go about it. But that's important to understand. It's not lightly injured. It's defeat, right? So it's killed. It's troops that you kill or severely injured. It's not lightly injured. Yeah. And we will see that in a moment. So you see the level of the troops, right? So the fire crystal level of the troop do not matter. It matters if it's a T10, T9, T8, T11, T7, etc. So the stronger your opponent in terms of level of troops, so T11, T10, etc., without counting into account fire crystal levels, the more points you make. Yeah, there's not much in the rules. It's a 2-day event. And again, if you don't want to lose any troop, if you don't want to have to heal too much, if you don't have to waste teleports, you just have to participate in Sunfire Castle and you will make that amount of points in a few attacks, maybe even one rally or two, or defending a few. It will be very easy. If you want to rank like these people are doing, you will need to spend a lot of times on the battlefield or be a whale and speed up marches from your base. But for most of us it means teleporting. And you see the ranking rewards are not that good. 20k gems for what you spend in terms of resources, healing, teleports, 20 hour speed ups, 10 of the mythic general decoration. Like, these are very rare, so 10s can seem to be a lot. But if you look at your island, right, you don't do much with 10. This one, Tree of Life. So like, for example, I got this building from a pack, and you can either improve it with buying the pack again, which I don't even know if it will be available again, or you need to increase it with these shards, right? The mythic general decoration components. To improve it, so to go from level 3 to level 4, I need 40 shards already. So I will need to win 4 kill events, or 4 2 days events to upgrade one level. And that's only to go for 3 to 4. If I wanted to go to 8 to 9 on that kind of event, I will need 100 of these. And 9 to 10, I will need 120 of these. So it means to upgrade like one last level on buildings, you need to win 10, 12 of these 2 days events. So there are armament competition, officer project, defeat nearby beasts, right? And if you think of it, it's not that good. It's really not that good for what it costs. That's why, it's not giving that many gems. Like, rewards on today's event are bad, and overall I would not suggest you go for them. Like, even if you are a whale, like, you need to win 12 of them to improve a building from level 9 to level 10, and that building give you 1% attack, 1% defense. Like, it's a super weak gain. Like, you gain nothing from the building nearly, and it takes you 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 events to gain 1% on your building. So like, if you think about it, like, seriously, it does not really worth it. I still rank because it's free reward, and I'll show you how. And for me it's easy to do because I have a farm and I have a T10 farm, and So that's one way to make points, and I'll go into that in a moment, to make points and outrank, maybe top 10 or top 20 to get a tiny bit, right? You don't have to push very hard. For me, I usually finish top 3 on my own farm, but it takes a lot of time to heal, basically. But we'll see that in a moment. And I play a lot on Saturday. I make a lot of points on Saturday as well. So what else to say before we go into strategies or ways to make points? It's really important that you follow your state rule. And for us, I'll copy them. I'll put them on screen. And I'll remand them to the Alliance, but it's mostly for you guys. So browser in arms, kill events, rules for our states. We keep the same rules as last time. So rules is no attacking, scouting, or zeroing any city. So in our state, you cannot attack, scout, or zero cities. In some states, that might be possible to attack cities. If that's the case, you will want to have a bubble 24/7 unless you want to be attacked for 2 days, and I'll cover that in a minute. So we can attack gathering tiles, even in Alliance territory, so there is no tile that is protected. No gathering tiles that are protected. In some states, like gathering tiles within Alliance territory are protected, or you could do gathering tiles above level 6 or 7 are protected, so people can below level 6, for example, are protected, so people can still do their daily gathering. I'll show you why you need it in a moment, while you can still attack people in level 7 or 8 tiles. And for us, we don't attack tents, because tents, we use them to keep people's spots, right? So let's say like many people move to go on the battlefield and fight, and if I wanted to keep someone's spots, I could do like that, right? To keep their spots. So we said no tents attack because we want spots. We want people to be able to keep spots for themselves from their farm or stuff like that. So that's usually how you go. So before you go mad or ham or you kill everyone, make sure you check your state rules, especially on a early state. Rules can change every week. Every event, which is once a month. Every 4 weeks to be precise, which is a bit less than once a month, but it's nearly. So make sure you check the rules of your states. What I've seen often is some states that want to develop, for example, they are allowing tiles they are not allowing tiles to be attacked. So people can farm resources. So it's, when you are below furnace 30, you don't have fire crystal level yet. You might need some extra resources to go to furnace 30. So they are protecting basically tiles, and then they are allowing city attacks. And because city attacks, if the game is giving you shields, so you get the one that you can buy right from, and I'll show you where if you really need that info, but you likely know that. And there are one for free, so they are recharging every 7 days. You get 1 shield up to 5 shield. So you use the free one, so there are 8-hour shield. So you pop one before you go to bed. If you sleep more than 8 hours and you are not safe on your state, maybe pop a 24-hour shield. It costs a bit of gems, 5k, but if you get zeroed because you slept 8 hours and a half, and you are in a state that's at war, like it's a lot more than 5k gems. So, if you know you're not gonna be online too much and you don't want to think about it, or, I would suggest to pop 2 24-hour shield, right? That's will be 10k gems to cover yourself for 48 hours, when that's gonna be 20k gems. So the third day is very expensive on that one. So you get shield for free. And the way you want to buy shields, at some point you stop doing that, and as you see, like I did not buy shields from currency in game for maybe a year now, and I have far too many. But you want to buy shields from your Alliance shop. So Alliance, bottom right, shop, and you want to get the 70% discount shields. So early in the game, I will buy all the shield every time, as soon as they are discounted, right? The 2 hours and the 8 hours one. So I'll buy all of them every time, because my state was a bit messy with kill event, and sometimes you could get zeroed. Like I look strong, but like one of our strongest players, they attack me 3 times and they fill my infirmary and they fill my enlistment office and I'm dead basically. I can be zeroed in 2 minutes by like they port. No, they cannot port here, and I'll cover that actually in a minute. So something to know about Alliance territory, which you do less and less, right? But you see the blue border, it's our territory. In SVS, people from the other state can port within the territory. So in SVS, Battle Day, like I could have someone teleporting in the middle of the base and attacking everyone. But on kill event on your own state, people cannot port in Alliance territory. So if someone wanted to attack us, they will have to port on the edge, So that's why often you have your farm alliance, which our farm alliance is right here, right? Close to your main alliance. And so you can put banners, far around your base so it's protected. You see, in our state, we don't need that much. So, the edge of our territory is close to the base. If we were at war, we would have, 2, 3, 4 banners everywhere around to give, and there's a way to build banner that way. I won't explain that in this video, but there are many guides. You can talk to me if you need help with building your base, basically, your alliance. But, and something to consider is you cannot build banners on the territory of fortresses and strongholds. So we are close to a stronghold. So people could port in the dark gray. You see, like we cannot build banner here. So in the past, in one of my alliance, we used to be very close. It's like we were at the spot of these two polar terrors, right? The level 7 and 6. So our hive was very close to the stronghold. So people could port right here and attack us easily. And that was a big mistake on our side. So we had to move a bit further. So we are like closer to the middle of between 2, 3 fortresses or strongholds, so we are a bit safer. So like all the blue zone is safe for us, but we can be attacked from the outside. So shield, protect yourself. So again, how to make points. Actually, before something else. No, I'll mention that later. I want to talk about troop management, and I think kill events early, people make big mistakes. They go crazy on it. They attack city. They are losing troops. So I'll show you what happens. And I want to kill troops off my farm. So that's a perfect time to show you what happens. So first I'll make point with my farm. So how do you do it? Often, like in my case, I have my secondary account, which is my farm account, in the same alliance. So I'll need to leave alliance first, right? I'll collect that, and I'll need to leave alliance because I cannot attack my troops, the troops of my farm, if I'm in the same alliance. Then I'll put my troops close to my base, and I'm sending them with no heroes. So I'm gonna have to heal on my main account, right? No, I'm gonna have to heal, sorry, on my farm because I'm gonna be defeated easily. But I won't have to heal too much on my main account. So I put my farms close. People know I do that so they don't attack. But you want to be quick so you are not, your points, someone else is not attacking your own farm. But people should understand that's what I'm doing, right? So they should not steal my points basically, but it could happen. And then with my main account, I just want to attack. And if you want to fight with a better troop ratio, often it's either 50, 20, 30, or I get best result with 60, 10, 30. It depends a bit on your stats, it depends on many things, but that's, if you don't want to think too much, and you could do that, with your main march and do it slowly, but for me it's very simple. So you see, so I'm attacking myself. So these, we'll look at reports in a second. I'll send them back to base. So now, see, I attacked 4 of the marches without heroes, so they were 120k troops, 125k or something troops marches, so they were small marches. And I'm ranking 9, and I make 2.2 million points. Don't do that with your farm if your farm is having level 3, T3 troops, or if you are below Furnace 30. and you still need resources from your farm, basically, because it will take me a lot of resources to heal on my farm. So if you are still in the early days of a game and you are level furnace 28 and it's really hard on resources, I'll suggest you to take part of in Castle Battle Saturday, make point on Castle Battle, you know, enough point to unlock the minimum reward for Brother in Arms, and don't bother about Brother in Arms. But you see, like, if I do that a few times, you know, it will take me a lot of time to be first, and I'll have filled my infirmary on my farm, and I'll need to, you know, to take care of that, to use speed ups or spend time healing. But I can make points easily, and some people, you know, it took them hours to do that kind of points because they are attacking marches that are in tiles, and if you look at how many troops are going into a tile, it's 50k, 40-50k. So, and these are T1 troops, most of them, so they don't give as much points. T5, sorry. So, like, you know, by attacking a full march on my farm, it goes 3 times faster. And I don't have to teleport, I do it near my base, it takes 2 minutes. So that's how you get minimum rewards every time with a farm. That's why I still have a farm at that stage of the game. It's because if I do that a few times, plus I'm very active tomorrow, then I will be top 5 easily, without thinking too much. And then, you know, that's free gems, free speed ups, free decoration, and I don't stress too much about it. Like, if I really wanted to, I could be first with the healing. I got 80-day healing speed ups on my farm, so I could really be first for a few events without too much problem. But I know we have some people that really care to play actively, and they don't use a farm, and you know, they deserve the first spot, to be honest. They are a lot more. They are fighting a lot more than I do, so I don't. That's why I have so many speed ups. I don't use them. You know, I think that people that spend hours fighting on the battlefield, like, legitimately, they deserve to be first instead of me kind of stealing the first spots easily with my farm. But that's just, you know, if I didn't care, I could do it. But that's not really important. So that's how you do points. If we look at reports, what's happening, right? Oh, that's there. So you can see that I have 165k troops. It was 125. That my farm got 81k point for lightly injured, so these are not giving points. If you remember, it's severely injured, so that's injured in the report, and dead troops. So there is no dead troops, and there are 43, and let me calculate, right? Let's see if I get that right. 43,821. No, 800, sorry, so it's the same on all reports, right? So it's a ratio of your troops, so times 4. So it's that amount of troops, see, 175k of troops, and if I multiply by the point of T10, right, times 13, that's 2 million. Can I show, let me add it actually, let's do that. So I can show you how I calculate. So I'll add something to the video quickly. Capture d'écran, capture de fenêtre. Calculator. Okay. And I'll do. So I'll show you exactly what I'm saying. I just need to find it. Oh, I cannot. Huh. Let me see if I can do it. If not, that's okay. If not, I'll give up and we'll move on. Just give me 30 seconds. Okay, yeah, calculatrice. Of course I can. So I said it was in the report, right? So let me go back to my troops. Report, we have 43,821 troops times 4. Okay, so that's the amount of troops that I put in the infirmary of my farm, and that's allowing me to know that, you know, in my farm I could have 230k, something like that. So usually it's 5 march. I fill my farm infirmary with 5 marches. And then if you look at the events, it's giving 13 points, 40 tens, right? So times 13, so that's the 2 million points. So you can quickly calculate, you know, based with your farm, how many troops you will need to injure in the report to rank, right? So if I divide, you know, 13, let's say someone is doing 14 million by 13, you know, that means I'll need to injure 1.1 million troops on my farm, which then you can calculate how many speed ups, you know, it's gonna take and stuff like that. So that's it for now. So let me show you a few other things. So that's how you do and you rank easily if you have a farm. That's the most simple way. Another way is, of course, you see as people are doing it, following your state rules, right? Is hunting for farms. So for people gathering. So you want to zoom in and zoom out. You want to zoom out to the maximum, then you see cities. And then you are looking, because I cannot attack cities in my state, right? You are looking for tiles. Right? So I want red tiles. So you are going around and you know, at some point you will know where the alliances are in your state, right? I know that's that's car alliance, and you know where they are and stuff, so you will go around, you know, you can bookmark them, and so you know where to go. And remember, you cannot port in other alliance territory, right? So you have to port on the edge. But these are not gathering. So the way to make points with gathering tiles is often at reset between Thursday and Friday if you have kill event that day like us. So like people that play that reset, you know, people send farmers the day before often, and they forgot there is kill event the next day. So often if you are online at reset, which is midnight UTC, you will have plenty of targets. So people that make the most points the first day are usually people that play at reset. And it will be the same tomorrow morning. So if you are EU like me, that needs to stay awake very long. If you are US, it's easy. And if you are Asia, it's probably night time, so it's okay as well. No, it's morning, sorry. So you could do it during your breakfast in Asia. You could do it in your evening in the US. And for us, it's, you know, 1 a.m. right now. I'm in France, so reset is 1 a.m. So I need to play until 2 or 3 a.m. if I wanted to make points, which is actually not a solution for me. So see, there is not many people gathering. But that will be the goal, right? You'll go around, and at some point your eyes will be used to see red dots on tiles, so you will just do that. You can move quite quickly, and my eyes will catch any red dot without me, you know, having to stop too much, because I'm used to do that for other events. So that's one way to do with tiles. I won't show you city fighting because it's not allowed in my state, but the way you need to be very careful, and I'll show you why in a minute. I need to sacrifice troops from my farm, so I'll attack my own city. Before that, I'll just put markers so people are not going crazy. So that's not what I'm suggesting. I'm not suggesting you kill your farm troops on your Okay. So one thing you might enjoy knowing is when you put markers, if you put enough spaces, it's going to the next line. So it's easier to read. It's not like so one thing is to know. So see, like with my main city, I have 2 hours of healing. So I'll just start it now so people can start to tap. So I'll show you things to be careful with. And for that, I need to fill my infirmary, which I'll do now. Before I'll fill my infirmary, and I'll start to fill my my enlistment office, just so you have an idea. So see, I have 175k. I can go to 235k. So like my farm is getting too fat. I never fight with it, so it has too much troop. It has too much power. So I just want to remove some of the troop that I don't use, so it stays low and lean. It's better for matchmaking, I think, in SVS and in general. So I'm attacking my own city, right? Of course, my farm is weaker than my main city, and there are 3 million troops in my main city, and that march got one, a little less, but I'll explain to you in a minute. Because that might happen in a very different scenario to you, right? Because these are percentage based, basically. See, even if I get attacked by a far stronger opponent like me, if you look at the percentages, right? I mean, I'm not amazingly stronger, but these are not great percentages, but they are decent. So I'm stronger than my farm, still by far on Lancer attacks, defense, lethality a bit, stuff like that. So of course my farm is defeated because it's 165k troops versus 2.8 million. So I got some loss. So these are dead permanently. I'll never get these back. In SVS, at the end of the event, you have an event that allows you to revive up to 90% of what you lose. But if you lose troops in kill events, they are lost permanently. So these I will have to train again. I will never get them back. They are just dead. These are going to my infirmary. They're injured. And these are just slightly injured, so nothing happens right now. In that context, in some other context, something happened with them, like if you are defending a building. But so that's how it looks. And keep in mind, so if you're attacking someone, let's say that they have weaker percentage than you, but a tiny bit, like it's 700, 350, 400. But they have even, like, it's the beginning of the game, they have 800k troops. They don't have 3 million like me. They have like 800, 600, even 1 million troops. And you attack with one of your march, the same thing will happen. You will be crushed and you won't make points, right? You won't injure a lot of them, you won't do anything, so you will just lose troops. So what happened in the early days of kill events is many people are going crazy, and they are attacking people that are weaker than them, but they are not that weak. So they are losing a lot of troops. And if you do that a few times every kill event in your early days, you will be behind on troops all the time because you are losing so much. That's a week of training, more or less. If you look at what you can do, and it depends on your technology and stuff, but for me, I can train more or less, that's 1.2 k troops. Then I can train I can train 2k a day per camp. So that means 6k a day of T10 troops, more or less. So if I do 6k a day, that's nearly 10 days, right? That's 9 days of training. So I just lost 9 days of me playing the game right now. And that's what I wanted, so I'm okay with that. But if you're attacking against someone that's weaker than yourself and tiny bit weaker, the same is going to happen to you. Something to understand, when your whales are, when it's early days in your state, right? So your whales are like maximum 1000% stats, maybe 1100 or something like that. When you are, generation 2 or 3, if you attack someone with 1 million troops in their cities, and you have a 150, 160k march, right? So you are the one attacking, or it works both ways, right? But you have 150, 160k troops. The dude has roughly 1 million, and your percentages are 300% above. So let's say, there it's, I was the one attacking, so let's say there it's 500, maybe 250, maybe 150, or something like that. If you're, especially health and lethality, if you have 300% more, most of the time a single march of 160 will win 1 million troops. So a single march will win against a rally if the single march is having 300% more stats in average. So that's again an approximation, but if you are the one attacked by a whale, it's very good to know as well. Because you are like, oh, okay, I got 1 million troops in my base, I'm safe, he got, one march. But if he has 300% more than you, he will win. He will lose a lot of troops, but your count of injured and lightly injured will go up like crazy. He will, remove you 500k troops. And what happened is the lightly injured, they are not fighting after a while. So the guy is attacking you once, you had 1,000,000 troops, he sent 200k to your infirmary and 200k that are lightly injured, so the next time he attacks, you have 600k troops defending instead of 1,000,000. And then he destroyed the 600k. Then second attack, you have 200 or 300k troops left defending your city in 2 attacks when you had 1,000,000. And then they are lightly injured, your infirmary is full, so they will go to the enlistment office, and I'll show you in a minute what happened when they go to your enlistment office. Where I'm at, so I need, 1 march will be enough. You can tell yourself, oh, enlistment office is okay, blah, blah, blah. I don't care that much, but I'll show you what happened. So I'm sending a march so I can attack this with my men, and we will see what happened with on my farm. And that enlistment thing is true on every occasion, right? If your infirmary is full, it goes to your enlistment office, and if it goes to your enlistment office, you will lose some troops permanently. Some of them, a proportion of them. So look, so I attack my farm, and I'll explain to you all just right now. I'll keep this troop back, so let's look at the report from where I'm standing, right? So I won. I lightly injured 90k, so they went back to base and they are available to fight because they are going back to base. I sent 43k, 333 to the infirmary, and I killed 5,000. So Tonton lost, mini Tonton lost 5k troops. And okay, so let's see on Tonton, on mini Tonton, what happens. These things are important to understand because one day, when it will happen to you, you will be surprised. So I have a warning that my, infirmary is nearly full, and I have that message, right? So it says that chief, because the infirmary reached its operating capacity, only injured troops were admitted. 5,132 other units did not receive treatment from infirmary and perished. Please upgrade your infirmary and increase blah 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 blah. So, okay. So let's see my enlistment office now. So you see what happened? It says I got 5.2k? 5.1k. If you look, and if you add up, it's not 5.1k, right? It's like, it's 3.6. So when your infirmary is full and some troops goes to the enlistment you can get back. That's troops that you will slowly get back. And I made a video about enlistment recently, but see, I can already get back 500 troops. And then I can get 6 more there. And you will see over time, with my loyalty rate increasing, I'll get loyalty points, and I can, when I got loyalty points, I can exchange them for troops, basically. I can exchange my loyalty point for troops. And the loyalty rate is going higher when my infirmary is empty. And I get loyalty points for doing intel missions and for gathering resources. So if you have a full, like an enlistment office that is full, the way to do it is to first empty to gather resources. You get points when your troops are coming back based on the amount of resources you gather, and do intel missions. And then, it will give you points, and when that's empty, then you will start to, let's start to heal. So when you heal, you want to try to get that one. If you can, that's, 500k more troops, 5k troops in your infirmary and healing speed. So now, like, heal everything is 5 days, and maybe without the buff was like 6-7 days, or because 100% does not mean it's additive, it's not multiplicative, so doesn't mean it's twice less. It's not the way it works in the game when there are additive percentages. So it might have been 6, 7, 8 days instead of 5. But I'll start to heal a bit. So the countdown is there. I'll do 2 hours. So yeah. So you see, I've lost out of the 5K troops that are lost permanently that should have went to my enlistment office. I lost for real 1,900, and I can get back or less than that because it was 3.6. So I lost 1,500 troops for good, and I get some, but you will get some otherwise. And roughly, you can get 100K to 150K troops back per week. So see, if my enlistment office was full, right? If I had 1 million, if you divide by 100K, let's say 150K per week. If you are very active, you gather a lot, you do all your intel missions, your infirmary is full, you get 150K back per week. So if you do 1 million divided by 150K, it's gonna take you 6-7 weeks to empty it. So I'll suggest to never fill your enlistment. When your enlistment is full, when your infirmary is full, everything else 100% is dead, right? So here, if I go from 1.5K divided by 3.6, so it's 3.6 divided by 5. I got back roughly 70% of my troops. So 70% of my dead troops went to my enlistment office, and I lost 30% of that. The same happened in SVS battle phase, but then you get out of the amount of dead troops you have, you get back 90%. So you get back 90% of 30%. So at the end of the day, you lost 3% of your troops that goes into enlistment office that are dead permanently. During SVS, it's 3% of your troops. So that's why you want to be careful when you fight, and especially if your cities can be attacked, because while you can make points in other people's cities, if a whale is speeding up a march and attacking you 1 or twice, it will fill your infirmary. Whichever is going to the enlistment office, you lose 30% of that. And if you are offline or if you are not quick to react and your enlistment office is full, you lose 100% of troops after that. So that's really important to understand. If you want to fight cities, if you look at reports, how can I do that? It's hard to do without, I cannot break the rules, so and I don't want to lose troop on my main city for showing that. So I'll explain it theoretically and hope you follow me, and I'll try to be clear, right? But that's what I said earlier. If a whale is attacking you, that's how it's gonna look like basically. If a whale is attacking you, you will have, let's say that's not 138K, right? Let's say that's 1 million, 2 million, 3 million troops. That's you defending, and you have all your troops in your city, right? You will have some survivor in that case in your city, right? You will have some lightly injured, which will, if they stay in your city, they stop fighting, so they stop defending your city because they are injured. So you will need to send them out of your city and bring them back, for example, for them not to be lightly injured. You need to change the state of the troop because otherwise they are in the state of lightly injured. Troop will recover when they are returned to city. Until they are returned, the lightly injured troop will stay in the same squad and do not and not be able to participate in battle. So that's written here, right? So that's really important. In the case of Sunfire Castle, when you defend, for example, because when the opponent is attacking you, lightly injured troops stay in the march. So that's why you have to constantly send new troops to Sunfire Castle to replace lightly injured with survivors, with troops that can fight. Otherwise, if you have a garrison with you have 1.2 million troops in the garrison and you have 600K lightly injured from the previous attacks, then you fight with 600K troops and you will lose Sunfire Castle battle. That's why you want to reinforce always so the game refreshes light injured troops. But when it's your city and you are getting attacked, your lightly injured troops will not fight as well. So you will have slowly over time less survivor, more lightly injured troops, more injured troops, until the guy empty your city. And a whale, or even if you're a stronger player, like let's say you have 300% more, maybe he failed the first attack because you had like 2 million troops and his march is not strong enough, but you will have 200K lightly injured, 200K injured, so your 2 million, you go to 1.6 defending your city. okay, the guy might have lost 50k troops for like dead troops, but the next attack, he will put you to 1 million troop fighting, because from 1.6 million you will go to lightly injured, you will get 400k, you will get 200k injured again. So you start to have 1 million troop defending, and most of your troops are injured or lightly injured. Your infirmary is full. It starts to go to enlistment office. When it goes to enlistment office, you are losing 30% of your troops that are dead permanently in kill events. And you see, if he attacks you a third time, then he will blow up your city. You will, like, out of the million, because you went from 2 million troops to 1 million, so you are twice weaker compared to him. He might have wrecked your infantry as well, so you might have less infantry, and then they will defend not as effectively. So he will go to your enlistment, and then you will lose 30% of whatever. From that million, you might have 700k troops that go into enlistment. That means, 30% of 700k troops is 210. It's 200,010k. So that's if you think that you are training 6,000 troops per day, right? If you lose 200k permanently, that's many days, right? That's a month of training, basically. You just lost a month of training in one attack. On the third attack of a whale, you just lost a week of training. And then if he attacks you, 1-2 more times for 5 times, then your city will explode. But that's how you make points attacking city, right? Your first attack might not be successful, or it might be successful, but there is still a lot of troops in the city, and your second or third attack should make the city explode. And you should fill infirmary and enlistment office if you make points on city. If you need 4, 5, 10 attacks to start to make real damage to someone's city, like every time you will lose 50k troops, 50 to 60k troops, like we've seen in the other, this one, right? You will lose that permanently. That's 10 days of training. So if I attack someone that's too strong for me, and after 4 attacks, I make barely any points, because I selected a target that's too strong, that's over a month of troop I will have lost. And early days, you won't have 3 million troops like me. You might have 500k. So if you lose 200k troops because you play poorly, that's 40% of your army. You just lost 40% of your army. That will take you 1 month to get back, or 2 months to get back. And that will make you, and I've seen some people do that because they really like to fight, and they are not whales, and they are weak players, and they go around and they try to fight, and then after KE, they have no troops for bear. They are lagging behind, they are weak, and they just end up quitting the game because they are just killing their armies. So my suggestion for troops management, and that's really important for me, is to not fight a lot at the beginning. You are weak, you don't have much troops. So wait until you got 2-3 millions. For me, I got two. I used to not go crazy on SVS Battle Day as well, because I had 1 million troops, and that goes very quickly. But when you save your troops, at some point you will, after 6-9 months, you will reach, you are close to 2 million, 3 million troops. I'm a year and a half in, and I'm 3 million troops, and I never spend general speed ups, and I never spend money on troops, right? Just as a reminder. Then I can have fun for hours now on SVS Battle, because I'll get 90% of the troops back. I'll just show you, and I got 1 million infantry. So even if I lose a lot attacking cities, I can have fun attacking cities and stuff. See if you look at troops, right? I have the wrong heroes as well. I need to double check why. That's probably why my percentage were not that good. See, that's terrible. And if your city is attacked, something I'll mention quickly then, because I see I don't have it properly set up on my city. If you go in your wall, in your barricade, you can choose your defending hero, and you want to be sure these are the three strongest heroes. And you can as well tick that option, so you cannot send them on the battlefield. So they will stay in your city all the time. So if you are defending, you want to make sure you have the strongest heroes here. Because this dude is giving me 400%, right? On infantry attack defense, when my second hero, like Flint, is giving me 178. So that's a lot, you know, that's 270 to 260 difference percentage, so that's a lot. So you need to make sure you have that up to date. So that's how you fight attacking cities. And if you attack cities, like let's say I attack Tonton, I won't do it again. I'll actually do it again, but only with lancers. I want to kill some lancers. I got too much. So let's say I attack Tonton. I need to look, and I should always look at this city, because if some people are reinforcing, and let's say close by is a whale, and it will give the percentages of the strongest player in the city to the city. So I'm attacking with 150k troops. The dude got 1 million troops, plus he got the percentage of a whale. Then I'll get crushed and I will get totally defeated. So when you attack someone, you should never lose sight of their city. And if they reinforce, you know, you can click and you have a cancel button. You know, you have a recall troop, which is that expedition. Recall troops on marching destination, or it costs gems, right? So you always want to have that. So especially a whale will be able to speed things up, right? You could have Farcad deciding to reinforce me. He will wait for 10-second walk on my troops. He will speed it up. So for me, it's very hard. You know, some people it's very hard to click, cancel the troop in 10 seconds. Sometimes you are surprised by it. So you see, I lost 70k infantry, lancers, and I wanted to kill some marksmen as well. I got a bit too much. So that's, you know, like it's just me managing my farm, and so it has less power, so it's less strong in the ranking, in personal power. So it's, you know, it's still 35. So it does not impact us as much, you know, for SVS matchmaking, because my farm is weak, other than just having a lot of troops, because I'm playing it daily actively and I never fight with it. So you don't have to do that ever, probably, on your farm. It's just a me issue, and, you know, if you have to do it, then, you know, give yourself point on on brother in arms, right? Where is Tonton? It's already 5 million with what I gave myself. And I just need to look at, but I'll show that after the video. So I think that's really about it. I talk about troop management, I talk about attacking tiles, I talk about city attacking, city defending. So if you're a very strong player, you know, you might want to defend player around you, because your percentages will be given to the city, even if you are not the rally leader, basically. Let me know in the comments if you have questions about KE. I know I had a request about making a video, so let me know if it was helpful. TLDR, do your point on Saturday during castle battle. There is no need to do them on Friday. There is no need to have to heal. There is no need to lose troops. If you are a very weak player and you like to fight, then find a stronger player that can rally for you, and you join the rally, for example. If you go on the battlefield and your state is at war, maybe you want to have friends reinforcing you before you go. So maybe I just show that quickly. Maybe the last thing to know, like before you teleport and you go around, you know, let's say like my neighbor Ugurlu wants to go around, then, you know, I'll just reinforce him, and I'll reinforce him properly, because he might be attacked by a whale. So, you know, I'll give him Patrick, I'll give him 60, 10, 30, and I'll reinforce him. So then after he teleports, and, you know, maybe he teleports with 1 extra million troops, plus heroes that are increasing stats. So Patrick is increasing health by 15%. So, you know, his reports, his stats here will be 15% more for health on all troops, right? So that's good, for example. And if you have 4 Patrick, then it's 60%, so it's a lot, right? Things like that. So that's things you could do. Yeah, I think that's really about it for now, for today. I hope it was helpful, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please give a like, a comment, share the video if it's useful. Take care, and I will highly suggest you to be gentle on KE and wait until you have a lot of troops to start having fun. And I know it's delaying stuff, and it might be boring for some of you, but you know, staying behind and not being able to make points on bear and stuff because you have no troops really sucks. So I encourage you not to do that at least. Talk to you soon. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Cheers.